navigating retirement and the importance of a clear plan. And I call that your retirement GPS. Imagine you get into your car and you need to go somewhere, but you don't know where to go or how to get there. Where do you even start? But so many of you are walking into retirement with that mentality. You know you need to retire, just like you know you need to get into the car, but you don't really know where you're going, how you're going to get there. You have nothing laid out. And that's why a retirement GPS, or a clear path forward, is required as you go into retirement. I think for a lot of you, you've entered into retirement or you plan to enter into retirement and you have a general idea. And I would say you have paper maps. Remember back in the 70s, 80s, even before that, before GPSs, we had those paper maps. So as you were traveling, your person in the car beside you would have that paper map open and they'd be following the line. Like, that is you entering into retirement, and you haven't adapted to GPSs yet. And it's really hard to follow those paper maps. They're really small. Your eyes are getting bad as you get older. It's time to change to a GPS. And it's time to digitize that. And you do that by creating a proper retirement plan. And not only does a proper retirement give you the proper way to go, but it also outlines other things that you weren't thinking about, like traffic. Your paper map, it doesn't have traffic on there. But as soon as you put things into the GPS, you have the traffic map, right? Which is the best route forward? Again, how do I pay the least amount of taxes? When do I start my CPP? How do I draw down my pension? How does spousal RSP work? There's many factors to creating a retirement plan. Now, having a GPS roadmap will do many things for you. I want to highlight 3 main points and make sure that you follow these so that when you get your plan put together, all these things are checked off. Like, you should walk away from getting your retirement plan with a clear picture of what you need to do going forward. Again, it's like getting in the car. When you turn on your GPS and say, here's where I want to go, it guides you right there. Now, the biggest pushback I get is, yeah, Adam, I can create a retirement plan now, but in 3 years and 5 years and 10 years, it might be derailed. And I agree. Like, things can change. As much as we use conservative assumptions when our team builds a plan and we try and make it so, like, yeah, this hopefully will last you 30 years, but yeah, there's going to be changes. We can't predict rate of return and inflation, and there's many things you can't predict. You have to make the best assumptions possible. But again, it's like getting in a car. You turn on your GPS, you might start driving, and while you're going to your destination, there might be an accident and you have to take a detour, right? But at least you've started on the right path. At least you know where you're going, direction you're going, the best path forward there. If you have to detour later, i.e. get a plan update or update the plan or review the plan, that's fine. But at least get in the car knowing where you're going. So the first benefit of having a retirement GPS is you have a plan. You know how much you have, where your income should come from. And let me tell you this, the amount of retirement plans I see that have 50 pages, there's a bunch of words and graphs, and nowhere on this, and there's a big financial institution, actually there's 5 of them that provide these continuously that drive me crazy. If there's no clear indication of how much money comes out of each account every year and roughly what that account value should be at the end of the year, you have a problem. You don't have a retirement GPS. You have a fancy graph, fancy words, but there's no real GPS, right? Like, no one's turned it on or put the proper coordinates into it. Your retirement plan should clearly outline your RSP, convert it to a RIF, and here's how much to take out every single year going forward. And here's what the value should be at the end of every year. And why that value at the end of every year is important is now you have your goalpost. Is my plan on track or not? And we always say if you're within 10 to 15% of that account value at the end of the year, your plan is probably on track or very close to. But again, seeing all these graphs and charts and words, it means nothing to me as a financial planner. It should be nothing to you as a client. We use an Excel spreadsheet. So the software we use spits out an Excel spreadsheet, which I like because it's very easy to follow. You can see each account, each year, what you need to take out, what you need to put in, and how much that account value should be. So again, a retirement GPS should be plainly laid out for you, easy to follow, easy to understand, where it shows you how much money, where it comes from, how much tax you're paying, your average and marginal tax rate, right? Your nominal dollar amount that you're collecting and your real dollar, like all these numbers that matter. And again, these might be foreign language, nominal versus real, marginal versus effective, or average tax rate. And that's fine. But as you sit down with your financial planner, have them break it down. Okay, what does this column mean? What does this tax number mean? Talk to your financial planner, but you need to have a clear understanding of what you need to do, and also the layer behind it of why am I doing this? Like, what's the difference between taking CPP at 60, 65, or 70 within my plan? If your planner hasn't done that, if they just said, look, take your CPP at 60 and move forward, that's really bad advice, and it's also not planning. That's an opinion, right? Have them show you taking CPP at 60, 65, 70, or whatever your ages are, but have that run, because the numbers will change and you should know the impact of these different changes within your retirement GPS. The second thing a really good plan will do is show you the timing of when to take money out of each account. Again, when you hit retirement, what's really unique with retirement is that there's multiple income streams. So for most of you, you're an employee, you have T4 income, you go to work, you get paid, they take the right amount of tax, of CPP and EI and all that fun stuff off. And at the end of the day, when you do your taxes in April, you don't owe anything, you don't get a refund. It's all equal because you have one source of income, they took off the right amount of tax. Come retirement, a lot of you will have 4 to 7, maybe up to 10 income sources. Now, what's unique about retirement is that you don't have to start them all at the same time. You can start some now, delay some, you can take more out of one account, less out of the other. There's a lot of moving parts. And those moving parts create a lot of complexity, but it also creates a lot of tax splitting ability, structure ability. It creates a lot of efficiency if done properly. So if you hit retirement and you have CPP, old age security, an RSP, maybe a LIRA, TFSA, non-registered account, maybe a small pension at work, what do you start where, how do you structure it, how do they integrate together? That's what a proper retirement GPS, a clear plan will do for you through retirement. And so you need to understand, when do I start drawing from each account? How much do I draw from each account? The second layer to a really good plan is what we call the retirement laddered income strategy. And that is your go-go phase, slow-go phase, and no-go phase of retirement. Your plan needs to show that. If you have a retirement plan and it has a fairly level or perfectly level income from the day you retire to the day you're expected to die, to me, that's not a great plan, because that's not how you're going to spend money. And what's going to happen in that case is you're not going to spend enough early, and you're not going to do the things you want to do. And later in life, you're going to have more than you need. And when you get to that point, you're going to say, oh, if I knew I had that much money, I would have spent more earlier. But guess what? It's too late. So that's where the laddered income. Again, instead of a flat level income, let's give you a bit more now, then a bit less, and then a bit less, because that's how you're going to spend it. Now, the benefit of that is saying, look, you can go spend more earlier, and this is how much you're going to have later. You're going to be okay. And it gives you that peace of mind to go out and spend that extra money. And let me tell you, we've done hundreds of plans. We've worked with hundreds, thousands of clients over the last 20 years. And we implement this strategy, and then we've actually seen it lived out through retirement. And man, does it work good. It makes sense. It works good. It's how you're going to live your retirement. So why would your retirement plan not have that? The other thing that a good retirement plan will have, and this is why you need that GPS roadmap. Again, tax laws will change. We're going through that right now with capital gains. We know things will change over time, but you have to use the current rules and laws and tax system to plan out. And again, if things change, then maybe you need to take a detour down the road. But for now, make sure you're going down the right path. And with a retirement plan, you really want to make sure that you're leveling out your average tax rate. If your average tax rate in retirement looks like a roller coaster, your income, your experience through retirement might be much of the same. You want to level out that average tax rate. And again, if we level out that average tax rate, but give you more income early, there needs to be some tax planning strategy there. And so that's where a lot of plans fail, is that, okay, we'll give you more earlier, but you're driving up the tax bill. That doesn't work well. So a really good GPS roadmap is going to level your tax, but still give you more money earlier. You'll level it out over time. The third and final piece to a really good retirement plan, a GPS roadmap, call it whatever you want, but a way to enter retirement with peace of mind and a plan is that a good plan will show you how to achieve your life goals, your bucket list items. And that could also be part of leaving a legacy. So when you hit retirement, you probably have a list of items that you want to accomplish. It might be travel, it might be whatever. Everyone's got a different thing. Some of you don't want to travel at all. You want to sit at home and read $1,000,000. Perfect. That's your bucket list. But we all have goals and dreams and aspirations as we enter into retirement. A good retirement plan will show you how to accomplish them, how to pay for them, the timing around them, all of that. I know for a lot of our clients, we want to help out our kids, right? We want to live near our kids, grandkids, that kind of thing if you have them. And part of that, especially my wife and I talk about it now, and our kids are quite young, 4 to 10. But we talk about like, how do we keep our kids close to us, or at least how do we stay close to our kids? We're probably going to have to help them with the down payment. And a lot of you want to do the same. So how much can you help your kids with? When do you gift them money? All that needs to be built into the plan. It can't, again, drive up the taxes. It's got to make sure you don't run out of money yourself. All these things will be built into that GPS roadmap for you as you build your retirement plan. A clear plan will budget in that family trip to Greece. It'll plan in helping your kids out. It'll plan that trip across Canada. It'll plan whatever you need to. Again, when you think about a retirement plan, it needs to map it out. If you have a current retirement plan from your financial advisor, maybe at the bank or a big financial institution, and you're sitting there saying, Adam, it's 40 pages long, 80 pages long, whatever it is. It's got a bunch of graphs and words. I have no idea what I'm looking at. To me, that's not a retirement plan. A retirement plan should be easily laid out, step by step, what you need to do, how much you need to take out every single year. It needs to be simple. The complicated process of it, push that back to the financial planner. That's our job. That's my job. That's our team's job. We do the heavy lifting in the background. But what we bring to the client is very easy to follow, straightforward. We show you, both sides of the coin, doing this versus doing that. What do you want to do? Here's the number different, the tax, the income, all of that. Understand both sides of it. Your financial planner should not be pushing an agenda. And again, we don't push an agenda. We think some things work better than others. RSP meltdown, laddered income strategy. These things work. This is application in retirement. We've seen it firsthand. But again, if you don't want a laddered income, that's fine. We can create it without. But make sure your retirement GPS lines up with what you're looking for and what you're looking to do in retirement. If you need help creating your retirement GPS, if you feel like, Adam, I'm getting to retirement and I just have my paper maps, I need help with this, reach out to our office, parallelwealth.com/planning. We're happy to help out. We offer fee-for-service retirement planning. And what that is taking all your information, basically your paper maps, and we put it into a GPS roadmap for you, give you that tool to walk forward into and through retirement. We help Canadians coast to coast. You might be living abroad, planning to retire back to Canada. We can help you out. If you're planning to retire in Canada or have Canadian income or resources, we're happy to help you out. Again, reach out to our office, book a call with me. We can chat about it, see if it's the right solution for you, and move forward. Let's get you into and through retirement in a much better position than where you're sitting now.